So before we start our project today, I just want to show you what we're going to do. So every time I start a new project, I actually come around and I look at my machine. And I don't know if you can see that there. It's just the fluff from what we were using the other day. So I'm just going to come in now and I'm going to go through with you and change my needle and do all the bits. And we'll just work through this together so that you can see how I do it and have a go at cleaning your own machine before you start a new project. So to start off with, we're just going to look at the machine. I would say turn your machine off. I've got mine turned on because it's giving me a better light to actually film it by, but I wouldn't do that if I was you. Whilst you do it, I would make sure it's turned off. You don't want to get yourself electrocuted. I will turn it off once I've got this bit out of the way. So you should have a little thing for undoing the screws on your machine, and that would just lift these bits off. I've got a very small, it's like a little screwdriver type thing, and you just take the screws off. Make sure you put them somewhere safe. You don't want to lose them. It's important to have that on. Okay, so you can get all of these different bits and pieces for the sewing machine. They just sell them places, eBay, Amazon, and places like that type of thing. You can get all these bits and pieces, or you can go to your own manufacturer for your machine and get it. They do like universal bits, and then also bits which you can get like that. So take that one out. Right, and then lift this off, and you can just see how dirty it is inside. Okay, hopefully you can see how bad that is in there. Alright, so that's after like that project which we've just done. So what we're going to do is just come around now and clean that out. So when you've got your machine, you should have had a little brush, okay? And you want to go around with your little brush and you want to take all of this stuff out. Alright, get as much of this fluff out because this can seriously damage your machine. Go all the way around here and clean everything out. This bit on mine comes out. You might have, your machine might be slightly different. And can you see how much dust is in there? Now that's just from that one last project we did. Because I clean it every time I do a new project. So you can see how much dust is coming out of that in there. Okay. So we're going to get all of that dust out of there. And you see, so you can see that would have seriously made your machine not work if you'd let that just build up. So taking all that out, go around all the sides of your machine and check that everything is all off. Also on mine, let me just turn it off, and hopefully you can still see that. Okay. Also on mine, I always take the bottom off as well, and I'll just show you how to do that in a minute. So let's get all this cleaned out, okay? I know it's difficult before you start to think, oh God, I've got to clean the machine out. But, you know, it really, really does help. If you find that your machine's just not really working very well, you could just try going around and giving it a clean inside. Because quite often it's just where stuff has got clogged up inside. Different bits. Okay. I think what I've used before as well, and I don't have one at the moment, is you can get a bottle of compressed air, like a tub of compressed air, and that really helps. You can just spray it around and that'll get a lot of this dust and stuff out. The problem being it gets quite oily as well, because there's oil which we're going to put in a minute. Okay, right, so I've done all that. That's pretty good. I'm going to lay it down on its side now. Just going to move that one out of the way. So with your machine, if you can get into the working bits and oil them, it really, really does help. It can get quite clogged up and dry inside there. Right, okay, can you see there's loads in the bottom of this? I'm just going to knock that out into the bin. Okay, you can give that a little wipe with a wet wipe or something like that, and then just look at the bottom of your machine and check it all over. Mine is nice and well oiled, so it's not too bad, and there's very little stuff in there. And what I'm just going to do is turn my hand up and check there's not too much, there's some rubbish in there, so I'm just going to remove that, get all that out of there. I try to do mine regularly if I can. I try and do it at the start of each project, and you'll find that that will help. And there you go. There's a bit of tinsely bit stuff there. Get that out. Yeah, that's not too bad going around. Okay, so just do that, and if you see that you think it, obviously I've got loads of oil on mine, so mine's working fine. But if you see there's a lot of oil in there, just get rid of any oil which might if you see there's not much oil in there, put oil down in that section as well. So let's pop that one back on. Okay, there should be, for your specific machine, instructions with your instruction manual which tells you exactly how to clean your machine, but it is very important to do it regularly. I'm just going to show you the yellow. I couldn't get any Isacord yellow, so I've gone in the exact colour I wanted, so I managed to get this one. This is a cotton thread, so I'm hoping this is going to be okay. I always have a problem with my threads breaking, and that's why I'd gone to the Isacord. So I'm going to pop that one on there, and then I'm going to wrap it around here. It needs to go into this piece, so whatever you've got on your machine, it needs to go. You need to look at your instructions on your machine and follow the instructions for your machine. This is for my machine, it goes on like that. Okay, I'm just going to take the end and I'm going to thread it through one of those little holes like that there. And then I'm going to pop it on a couple of times, and I want to put it on so that the thread is in behind, coming that way. I don't want it that way, so it's going in front. I want it behind. Okay, and I'm going to pop it on there like that, and then put it onto the end of my thing. And with my machine I have to hold on to this because my tension just isn't right. I think it's old or whatever, I just don't know, but it just doesn't work right. Can you see my thread has gone down here? We don't want that, so take that off, pop that on again, and we'll just hold it here to start me off. Okay, like that, and I'll get myself started. I've got a nice tight piece now, and I'm just going to put my fingers here, hold on to that whilst that runs, and make sure that my tension is correct. For some reason my machine is just so old, I don't think it gets the correct tension. Okay, so there we go. So do that until you've got that spool nice and filled up. I like to, at the end of each project, when I go on to a new project, sometimes if the project is really big and it's going to take me a long time, I might need to change these 2 or 3 times during the project. But for this new project, I'm going to put in a new needle, and I'm going to throw this one away because I will show you the end of it and it will have gone really blunt. I'm just going to undo, mine undoes here. Again, I use my little thing to undo it. Just grab hold of your needle, okay? I don't know if you can see my hand, because if you don't grab hold of it, it can drop right down inside your machine, okay? So can you see how blunt that is? It's got really blunt there on the end, okay? So I'm going to pop that one into the bin. Make sure it goes into the bin, especially if you've got animals or children. And then get your new needle out. And this one is an 80. So you can get different needles, and which are easier to thread. Okay, so you can get different bigger eyes on it. I usually try and work with a 70 or an 80. That one which I had there was a 90 because it was a leather needle and I was working on some leather. So I'm just going to change this one. Can you see how sharp that is in comparison? Oh. Yeah, so that's like that. So when you put it in, you'll find that you've got a straight piece. Can you see that? That's a straight piece, look, there. And that's the round piece. The round piece on my machine needs to go at the front, and the straight piece needs to go at the back. So just going to place that up inside, and you should be able to feel it move up inside. Bring it down, and turn the handle on the side. I just brought it down into my thumb. Right, warts and all, I've just brought it down into my thumb. Okay, and then we're going to tighten it just there like that. Okay, that's it. Give that a tighten up. Okay, and then I'm just going to get my little key and just tighten that. Make sure it's nice and tight because you don't want it falling off halfway through your project. All right, put the rest of this away. When you've got your key, I would keep that. I keep it in my machine box here all the time, but have a place where you can put it so that you don't lose it. All right. Okay, so just make sure you've got a nice clean cut on the end of your thread, and then hold it, put your fingers onto the just above the base of that, and then just pop it straight through. There you go, and that's that done. Okay, and you should be able to get that through quite easily. Right, so let's put the bobbin in. So the bobbin's going in, and it's going in so that the thread is coming from the back. I'm going to put it in, and I'm bringing it around here. And can you see there's like a little piece there, a little tiny bit of a piece. I don't know if you can, let's see if I can get that there. There's in that little tiny bit of a piece there, you need your thread to go into that. So I'm going to have to, sorry, trying to do it with this and that and put my fingers in it. I'm just going to pull it in and pull it back along that piece of thread like that, so it's gone back in and it's sat in there nicely. Grab a hold of this thread here from the top one, lower it down, and then pull that one up, and there you have your thread. Okay, and then pop on your foot. So you've got those two threads. We're going to put that piece of the plastic piece back on to the front, and then lift this, and then you're going to take those two threads and push those behind. I prefer the ones which have the bobbin in the top because you can see how much bobbin you've got left. The ones with the bobbins on the front of the machine, you just run out of bobbin and you don't realise that you've done it. Okay, so that's good. So we've got that. That's all your machine sorted out now, all ready to go. The other thing I would say is just dust off the top of your your machine every now and again. Check that your stitches are on the right stitches for where you're going to start, and you've got your ordinary stitch and whatever. Have all those things checked off before you start on your new project. Okay, so that we're ready to start. Check your tension, check everything is correct for your machine. All right, so we're ready to go.